Director of Student Affairs. Each of these individuals have significantly shaped the college, its programs and courses. Please join me in warmly welcoming them and honoring them for their contributions both to our graduates and to all college stakeholders. In addition to celebrating our graduates, we are also here today to honor our award winners from the spring and summer 2017 terms. During each major term, we survey our entire student body, which is growing in leaps and bounds from one term to the next. And we look for those students who have, through their hard work and excellent study habits, achieved either academic or service in our institution. Our Dean's List recognizes students who have achieved a term GPA of 4.0 to 4.33 in 12 credits, and our Honor Roll recognizes those students who have achieved a term GPA of 3.5 to 3.99. The past terms, we also had one student on our Dean's List. We have 8 students to add to our Honor Roll. And in order to better recognize academic excellence within each subject area, in each of our major terms, that's the fall, winter, and spring terms, Alexander College has established a set of academic scholarships to be awarded to the strongest students within each discipline. In recognition of their dedication to learning and exceptional academic performance, 5 students have been selected to receive academic scholarships from the spring 2017 term. Finally, 1 student has also been selected to receive the Student Service Award. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Mackie Chase, who is the Director Emeritus of the Center for Intercultural Communication at UBC and a member of our board, who has a message today for our award winners. Please welcome Dr. Mackie Chase.
Thank you very much. This is a message not just for the award winners, but for everybody who's graduating today, really. When I think about award winning, I think about my sister, because when I was the older sister, and when we were riding on a sled down a hill, I remember her saying, well, actually, I'm the leader behind. So if you're the leader now getting the award, there's a lot of us who are also the leaders behind who are watching you and appreciating you and going to be the award winners next time around. So I'm very happy and honored to be here with all of you today and to celebrate the achievements of Alexander College graduates, those of you who are here and those of you who are not here and we're thinking of as well. Some of you, I know, graduated a while ago, and some of you are just graduating now, so it's really exciting to have all of you here and have your shared experience of being a fresh graduate and an experienced graduate to share your experiences. So to Dean Moon and to members of the BOG, the faculty, staff, parents, President Marv Westrom, and staff, parents, family members, and friends, you are a very important part of the graduation ceremony. But most especially those of you graduating today, congratulations on your achievements and all the hard work and energy and trust and vision that led up to the celebration today. Everybody in the room here has been involved one way or another in where you are today, I think. I was invited to speak to you in my role as a Vice Chair of the Board of Governors at Alexander College. And it's been my privilege to be a long-time board member from the time that Alexander College was much smaller than it is now. And to see the college develop into such a really outstanding and vibrant learning community that it is now. And although I don't directly deal with students on the job and on the board and the rest of the board, our job is to ensure that your interests are addressed and protected as you go through the program. So just so you know, we've got other people out there checking on your welfare as you go through. Over the last few days, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on what I've actually learned over my 72 years to share with you in 5 minutes. I was told I had 5 minutes, so. And it finally came to me that there are 3 things that have really helped me and that I've seen help other people over the years. So they may sound very silly and simple, but sometimes they're not that easy. One is the great advantages of asking for help. Wherever you are, don't be afraid to ask for help. The second one is the great value of making mistakes and how much we learn from those mistakes that we make. And the third one is the power of believing in yourself and your own capabilities. And I was just reading that there's some research now that people are trying to prove that, yeah, the more you believe in yourself, the more you really are good and the more you are capable. So just keep believing in yourselves. So just to say a few words about each of these 3 things. First, the advantages of asking for help. When you ask for help, you're helping the person you ask. The person learns about you and from you, and the person you ask will now feel free to interact with you in the future. You won't look stupid. Instead, you look responsible. You look curious. And on top of it, you come away with new information or skills. There's a Korean proverb that I like very much that says, I can't tell you in Korean, somebody in here could do it, but it says, even if you know the way, ask one more time. And I think that's really very good advice. Next, make a lot of mistakes. And I'm sure that everything that I know and remember clearly comes from a mistake that I made. Very useful mistakes. Recognizing your mistakes can take time and information gathering and being a bit humble. But that's where so much learning happens. When you think about how you learned a new language, people who are good language learners make a lot of mistakes. They just go out there and go for it and try it and say, use the words that they've been learning. So you have to have courage to use your new skills and your new language. Lately I've watched my 3-year-old grandson trying to learn to anticipate mistakes and prepare. I was surprised. I thought, what's wrong with this little kid? When you go into the playground, he just goes over and he stands and watches. And he watches, he's very quiet, and he watches. And I thought, what's wrong with him anyway? Then after he's watched a little bit, and he sort of sees what other kids are doing and whether it's safe to go on the slide where all these big kids are pushing people around, is what's safe to do and what's not safe to do, and he's learning to anticipate mistakes and problems and prepare. So I think that that's part of it. When you make a mistake, you learn, okay, now this is what I need to watch for the next time. Okay, that really is very, very helpful. Eleanor Roosevelt said, learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. So I think mistakes are a big tool in life. Third, believe in yourself and your own capabilities. Trust your own feelings of what you feel is really okay and what isn't. And share your ideas and beliefs with others. I know I have wasted many, many opportunities by worrying that I wasn't good enough or that somebody wouldn't like what I was saying or doing. And the more you believe in yourself, the more capable you become. Some of you had recently arrived in Canada when you first started your program at Alexander College. I know some of you have been here far longer too. But while you've been here, it's been an intense journey of discovery on so many levels, academic, social, and individual. You've learned about each other and about yourselves. I really like reading a comment on the Facebook from one of you that Alexander College is not just providing college courses, but lessons for life. You've not only acquired new academic credentials, but also new international networks of friends and colleagues, of teachers and staff to draw upon in the future for yourself and for your friends and family. So all of you who are here to watch your friend graduating, you've got extra networks too. So I'd like you to look around right now and think of those that you studied with, and they are your present and future networks and supporters in your new stage of being a postgraduate from Alexander College. So I'd like you just, on both sides of the room, just to take a minute to shake hands with the people sitting next to you and thank them for what they might do for you in the future, because they will. So just take a minute. Just turn to the person next to you and say thank you. This is a time of changing seasons, and as you saw yesterday, wild weather and celebrations. We had a Thanksgiving celebration here, celebrations of light, of harvest, of family members past and present. We have the Moon Festival and Chuseok and Diwali coming up, and so seems to be a really perfect season for being a graduate. I was thinking about that yesterday in the wild weather. I thought, oh yeah, this is a great time to be a graduate. It's a new season in your lives, your education, your friendships, and your careers. You're ready to become global citizens, able to connect with others to help make our planet Earth more equal, more fair, and more sustainable. Remember to ask for help. Make lots of mistakes. And above all, believe in yourself and follow your passions, things that you really care about. Thank you so much, and congratulations. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Adrian, to give the award. So congratulations to all of the graduates and to the award winners as well.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I want to echo Lindsay Badger's words about the awards. Dean's List and Honor Roll are pretty difficult to attain, quite difficult to attain, and the receiving of that is quite a remarkable achievement for anyone. And so we are always pleased to compile the list. I mean, it starts off with just pure data, which seems very dry, but it is actually a wonderful moment of celebration in the registrar's office. I think so. To be able to look upon these achievements of our students and to celebrate with them. So it is an honor to make mention of them today. I don't believe any were able to join us, if I'm not mistaken, but I do want to mention them here in our hearing because, again, these are students who work hard, and if you are still a student among us, perhaps with AXA, you might want to write these names down and form study groups with them for free. Our Dean's List, there's one recipient from the spring 2017 term, and that was Han Zhang. And our honor roll, we have several recipients. We have Yulia Dmitrieva, Cheng Jiang, Chen Jin, Bong Wan Kim, Juman Kim, Byung-Gu Kwok, Jingyi Liu, and Jinhui Liang. That was a hard name. It was, right. But remarkable achievements for all these. And so, although they are absent, I think it is a very worthy enterprise for us to just recognize them here and applaud their achievements. And for our graduates, this is the only moment I get to speak to you, so congratulations, very well done. And as you progress in your future studies, I would say carry that encouragement with you to keep on trying your best, as you have clearly done today. Keep on striving well. And now turn back to our wonderful Etsy.
So we have some scholarships to present this afternoon. Dr. Alec Chan is one of our regular faculty members. Instructor in sociology courses at Alexander College. And it's my pleasure at this time to invite him to the podium to present the student scholarships from the spring 2017 term. Dr. Alec Chan.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming, and congratulations to all the graduates for this year. I've been looking at some of the scholarships that we've been looking at, and offering scholarships in economics, French, physics, And then I saw sociology, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool, right? I've been teaching Alexander College for over 5 years now. It's the first time we actually have a sociology scholarship. And when I looked at some of the names, and and it's actually one of my best students, Tommy, actually, in a scholarship. So I thought I had to come here and present it to him, along with others who's done very well at these courses. These scholarships, I think, signified a really important piece, I think, of a university education. I think a lot of times when we're undergraduate students going into first year, whether college, university, we're not very sure in terms of what our passion is, and we're not sure in terms of whether these courses are something we want to do later on in life, or what kind of things would I learn. And I think students who excel in these scholarships really shows that they've shown a keen interest in terms of what they're learning and actually really excelling at it. So I'm very excited to present the winners of this year's scholarship. I know that some of them are here and some of them are not, so I guess I'll read out all names of the people that receive these scholarships here. So the first one is Peter Kennedy Economics Scholarship. It's Bayong Jung Seo, and I don't think that they're here. And the next one is the French Scholarship, Hun Wong Na. Here.
Please come on. Doesn't want you to go away. No.
Congratulations.
Oh, there it is, there it is. No, that's something else. Here, I'll call it. Okay.
We have the Physics Scholarship, Min Jin Kim. The Sociology Scholarship, Hung Wang, Tommy. The Mathematics Scholarship, Su Chung Kao, and the Student Service Award.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Student Service Award, Xie Huang O.
This one is here. Oh,
Okay,
Thank you, Alec. And congratulations once again to our award winners and scholarship winners. Our graduation speaker this afternoon is Dr. Marv Westrom, the president of Alexander College. He's someone that students don't often see, but he is also one of those people who works very diligently behind the scenes to make sure that your experience at Alexander College is enriching and rewarding and that you are looked after. He's also, I have to say, a really fabulous mentor to faculty as well, so we are very fortunate to have his leadership. Dr. Westrom graduated from the University of Alberta with a PhD in secondary education in 1972. Following graduation, he worked as a teacher of mathematics in Alberta and as a development analyst for IBM in Toronto. In 1976, he joined the Faculty of Education at UBC, where he taught methods courses in computing studies and researched the use of computers in education. From 1976 to 2003, he designed and developed courses and programs for the Computing Studies Division of the Department of Curriculum Studies in the Faculty of Education and supervised the research studies of 50 graduate students. Dr. Westrom is one of the founders of CUEBC, which stands for Computers Using Educators of BC, and a founder and managing editor of the CUE Journal and a UBC representative on the BC CAT Articulation Committee, which is really important for you guys because they're the ones that make sure our courses transfer to other universities. And he's on that committee for computer science. In addition to his work in academia, he also contributed to programs and projects for the National Research Council of Canada, VTech Canada, Nortel Networks, and the Ministry of Education of Qatar. Dr. Westrom retired from UBC in 2003. The following year, he accepted a position as president of what was then known as Vancouver Central College. Today is our sister institution, Brighton College. He went on to help form Alexander College in 2006 and remains the college's president to this day. It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Westrom to the podium today to address Alexander College's graduating class for the fall of 2017. Please welcome Dr. Westrom.
Thank you for that kind introduction. A little longer than I'm used to getting, but graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, first I want to congratulate you on your achievement, graduates. Many of you come from outside of Canada, I know, and have language and cultural barriers to your progress, and yet you have succeeded. I think you have come a long path and have been successful to this point. For anyone to manage the time and resources required to complete a degree is a notable achievement, so congratulations on your good work. Your education will open doors for you that were closed before, and you will have new opportunities, and I sincerely hope a bright future. Can we predict what is going to happen in the future? We can extrapolate processes, such as the relentless improvements due to new technology, the expanding amount of information available to us, but we cannot easily predict events. For example, the invention of the transistor in 1947 kind of revolutionized all kinds of computing things. The personal computer in 1975 was just like a toy when I got my first personal computer, and the iPhone. It came along in 2007. It's only 10 years ago, and yet it seems like it's ubiquitous. I want to share some thoughts with you from an interview with the managing director of Daimler-Benz. He suggests that, and some of these you'll recognize are already happening, software will disrupt most traditional industries in the next 5 to 10 years. Uber is just a software tool. They don't own any cars, and yet they are now the biggest taxi company in the world. Airbnb is now the biggest hotel company in the world. They don't own any property at all. Software. Artificial intelligence. Computers become exponentially better in understanding the world. This year, a computer beat the best Go player in the world 10 years earlier than expected. And I think that the Big Blue defeated the best chess players in 1996. So that's 10 years in the past now. Ibm Watson, you may have heard of it, is an AI machine that can respond to just normal language questions in English. It was featured on Jeopardy, where it won. With it, you can get legal advice for basic stuff within seconds, with 90% accuracy, compared with 70% accuracy when done by humans. Watson already helps nurses diagnosing cancer. It's 4 times more accurate than human nurses. Facebook now has a pattern recognition software that can recognize faces better than humans. In 2030, computers will become more intelligent than humans. Well, that's what he predicts anyway. Autonomous cars. Next year, the first self-driving cars will be available to the public. Around 2020, the auto industry will start to be seriously disrupted. You won't want to own a car anymore. You will call a car on your phone. It'll show up and drive you to where you want to go. You will not need to park it. You only pay for the driven distance, and you can be productive while driving. You can read a book or do some, well, I was going to say homework, but you don't have any more homework now. Your kids, your children, may never get a driver's license and never own a car, because they won't need to. It will change cities because we will need 90 to 95% fewer cars. We can transform former parking places into parks. 1.2 million people die each year in car accidents worldwide. We now have 1 accident every 60,000 miles, but with autonomous driving, we will drop to 1 accident in 6 million miles, and we'll save 1 million lives a year. Of course, it might be a little slower getting to where you want to go, because those autonomous cars are very careful. Insurance companies will have massive trouble because without accidents, the insurance will become 100 times cheaper. The car insurance business model will disappear. Real estate will change because you can work while you commute. People will be able to move farther away to live in a more beautiful neighborhood. They can do some work as they're driving back and forth. You could probably have a desk in your car Maybe a phone, well, of course a phone. Electric cars will become mainstream about 2020. Actually, I'm needing a new car pretty soon now, and I'm hesitating to buy it because I think, well, maybe I should need to buy an electric car, or maybe an autonomous car, or something. You know, do I want to just buy an ordinary car? Cities will now be less noisy because all the new cars will run on electricity, and electricity will become incredibly cheap and clean. I'm not so sure about this, but he says solar production has been on an exponential curve for 30 years. You can now see it's having a burgeoning impact. Last year, more solar energy was installed worldwide than fossil energy systems. With cheap electricity comes cheap and abundant water. Desalination of water now only needs 2 kilowatt hours per cubic meter, which costs about 25 cents. A cubic meter that's a pretty big piece of water. We don't have scarce water in most places. We only have scarce drinking water. So there's lots of water around. It's just that it's not drinkable. But with reverse osmosis, using electricity, you can change it into drinking water. The tricorder, you may recognize that name for Star Trek if you're a Trekkie. The tricorder will be announced this year, and it works with your phone. It takes a retina scan, a blood sample, and you breathe into it. It'll provide an analysis of 54 biomarkers that identify nearly any disease. It'll be cheap, so in a few years, everyone on this planet will have access to world-class medical analysis nearly for free. 3D printing is a big thing that's coming. The price of the cheapest 3D printers came down from $18,000 to $400 within 10 years. At the same time, it became 100 times faster. All major shoe companies have already started 3D printing shoes. Some spare airplane parts are already 3D printed in remote airports. The space station now has a printer that eliminates the need for a large amount of spare parts. At the end of this year, new smartphones will have 3D scanning possibilities. You can then 3D scan your feet and then print your perfect shoes at home. In China, they already 3D printed and built a complex 6-story office building. By 2027, 10% of everything that's being produced will be 3D printed. Aeroponics, that's growing things basically in tanks and petri dishes, will need much less water. The first petri dish produced veal is now available and will be cheaper than cow-produced veal in 2018. Right now, 30% of all land agriculture services is used for cows. That's so we can get all that hamburger. Imagine if we don't need that space anymore. There are several startups that will bring insect protein to the market shortly. It contains more protein than meat and will be labeled alternative protein source because most people still reject the idea of eating insects. By 2020, there will be an app that can tell by your facial expressions if you're lying. Imagine a political debate where it's being displayed when you're telling the truth and when you're not. Longevity. Right now, the average lifespan increases by 3 months per year. 4 years ago, the lifespan used to be 79 years, and now it's 80 years. The increase itself is increasing, and by 2036, he predicts, there will be more than 1 year increase per year, so we all might live for a very long time, probably more than 100. The cheapest smartphones are already $10 in Africa and Asia. By 2020, 70% of all humans will own a smartphone. This means everyone has the same access to world information. It's already causing problems in places where people don't have enough to eat, but they can see what is available in the West, and they want it, of course, not surprising. All of these predictions will not come true, of course, but other events, processes, and changes will occur that will make some of these predictions look silly. I predict, because I've made predictions in the past that now look silly. This is your new world. Look forward to it with optimism and enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Westrom. Now it is time for us to recognize our fall 2017 graduates. Please join me in welcoming Scott Marsden to the podium, who will call up each graduate individually to be awarded their credential.
Hi guys. I haven't been tasked with giving a speech today, but I wish I was because there's a lot of my favorites here. So thanks very much. for graduating. I'll try not to be surprised that some of you are here today. Yeah, no. Congratulations. So I'll be reading out the names in order, and if you could please come up. The first batch of names is our Associate of Arts degree General, and we will have Sally Aaron. Next we'll have Samantha Pulo. Now we have Kirandi. Vikrant Gupta. Irvanjot Singh. Tommy Wong. Gurpreet Singh. Karandeep Singh. Tajinder Singh. Armanveer Kara. Lovepreet Mathur. Arshpreet Kaur Warren. Sonali Gupta. And that's our Associate of Arts General. So now we have, at Alexander College and elsewhere, specializations in our Associate of Arts. And we have today a graduate with a specialization in economics. So for our Associate of Arts Economics, I'd like to welcome Mansi Patel. And another round of applause for our graduating class.
Thank you, Scott and Dr. Moon, and family, friends, and award winners, faculty, staff, and esteemed guests. It is my honor to present to you AC's graduating class of 2017. Would you all please rise so we can give you... over to the right side, right? Because you're now officially graduating. On behalf of Alexander College, its faculty and staff, we wish each and every one of you excellent success in your pursuits in the future. We hope you will continue to persevere and learn through the challenges ahead, and there are bound to be challenges ahead. We wish you a continued measure of the same kind of determination and drive and passion that brought you to this day. We say congratulations to you all. To all of our guests, thank you for your attendance today and your support of our students. We invite you to join us in the celebratory reception following the ceremony. Please stand and remain standing until the graduates have exited. Thank you.